Johnny Tapia is a legend in the boxing world, and his name still carries a lot of weight. But as News 13 investigative reporter Gabrielle Burkhardt shows you, the champion's widow and another promoter are in a bout outside the ring, pointing fingers at each other after the boxers at one event got stiffed.
A Tapia Fight Night, where local boxers put it all on the line at the Rio Rancho Event Center in February. And that's how they make their living.
It is. And they, not only that, think about it. You work hard, you put wear and tear in your body, you can take one shot and it can be over. I know, I was on that side. I don't want to see that happen.
Teresa Tapia is the owner of Team Tapia Boxing Academy and widow of the late prize fighter Johnny Tapia.
If he was here, he'd be like, so what, get over it, get back in there. No, you're going to take a lot of hits, literally, you know, figuratively, you're going to take them on every single way, and I'm living proof of that, and I've went through all that, but I didn't see this one coming.
What Tapia didn't see coming, she says, happened after the fights. Tapia says the promoter she'd partnered with to put on the show and pay fighters didn't want to hold up his end of the deal. Eventually, she says he handed fighters thousands of dollars in bad checks. Two of those fighters, Albuquerque brothers Jason and Jose Luis Sanchez. Their wins alone worth more than $14,000, but it was money they couldn't access.
It was a harsh lesson, but I've never co-promoted like that. I've always done it on my own.
In the months leading up to the fights, Tapia says a promoter from Kansas named Joe Kelly connected with her. She showed us text messages and emails from Kelly, who Tapia says convinced her they'd be partners. Even shared ambitions of using her husband's famous nickname, Mi Vida Loca, to create a new league of fighters.
He sounded like this humble man who really cared about fighters.
The night of the fights, Tapia says she got into a shouting match with Kelly when he refused to pay the fighters' purses, something she says they'd agreed on. Jayla Ortiz, a coach with Tapia, says she witnessed the shouting match.
I went up to Teresa and I said, hey, is everything all right? And he told me, get out of this, none of my business.
Tapia claims she was threatened. Police were called and took separate statements from Tapia and Kelly, who filed police reports against each other. Through public records, we got a copy of the police report Kelly filed against Tapia that night, claiming he was being extorted and threatened, and admitting he froze the account for the checks he wrote.
And there's no contract, there's no nothing.
Lapel video from Rio Rancho police shows Kelly tell an officer there was no written agreement for him to pay the fighters. He says he did agree to split the costs of the fight night 50-50 before some of his boxers backed out.
Then upon arriving at the show, I was told that I was going to have to cover all the fight purses.
When he refused, Kelly says Tapia threatened him.
I wouldn't be able to leave the venue. I wasn't leaving New Mexico without paying, and the situation would be ugly.
He says he issued fighters checks that night out of fear, then admitted to freezing his account.
I just put a total freeze on my account.
Okay.
So the checks are there, canceled, and the account is frozen.
So he signed checks?
Yes.
And those are given to the fighters?
Yes.
And then they go to cash them, and what happens?
The account was frozen. And then he started telling everyone who was calling him, because his number's on the check, oh no, I was threatened.
We reached out to Joe Kelly.
The wireless customer you are calling is not available.
Called and emailed, but didn't hear back. In total, Kelly handed out more than $43,000 in worthless checks, money he claims was extorted, and money Tapia claims he owed.
There's a lot of stuff in writing. Now, the actual contract, there was not one. The reason we didn't sign the partnership agreement for the February fight, he told me he was in a lawsuit against a really evil partner, and that if his name was on anything, the partner would go after him even harder, and that he would stand to lose his house and family and all kinds of stuff.
Knowing it's the fighters who are taking a hit in this dispute, Tapia says she's been making good faith payments to them.
So I had to pay the majority of them, but I don't want to be in business to screw a fighter over. I mean, that's not what I'm about.
Tough lessons from a fight that didn't take place inside the ring. Gabrielle Burkhardt, KRQE investigates.
Tapia says she intends to file a lawsuit against Kelly for breach of agreement and fraud. We reached out to the fighters who tried to cash those bad checks, but our phone calls were not returned.